That's why I didn't press record.
I'm playing. I pressed record all the time. That was just my insight, though.
It always surprises me when one of those pop off, and then to see all of like the Orlando artists that I listen to all the time, and just to see them go on there, I just think they're too big to even fucking go in there and respond and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, that is that
What if-
thing.
When I see Whoop and Moot Boy on there, so I'm like, what are you
What
doing?
if they all
Comment.
collectively shared each other's music?
They're too much ego. Nuts too big.
But that's why they're commenting and responding to that stuff.
Right, so
Even if you feel they're above it, they eternally
what
don't.
did Chap get out of that shit? What did Chap get out of that shit?
Yeah.
His exposure went through the roof while y'all sitting there arguing with each other.
Yeah.
Stop falling for that shit.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Every single fight.
That's what he is, though. That's what that guy is.
Banana in the tailpipe.
A banana in the tailpipe. Yeah, we're live now. You ready? That's what he said hot mic for.
Just now or the whole time?
No, the time before. There was some hot audio, but it wasn't good. Now we're live. Yeah, come on over.
I was at Eastwater hooping yesterday,
Yeah.
and this kid was in there, man. Just a monster athletically,
Really?
and he runs track. He runs track for Kansas State, actually.
K-State.
Yeah, so that's like a big level D1.
Yeah. Big 12.
You know what I mean?
Could he hoop at all?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I was always warned that track people can't do anything else.
Yeah.
People have told me that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like real track people,
Yeah.
they can't do anything else. But you're here to tell us that's not true.
Well, now I'm gonna look him up because he runs the 200 and the 400. I believe he told me.
The 2 and the 4, the Michael Johnson special.
And he looks like a track guy, but he plays like he just had to be there, man. Like, cause eventually, there's a, cause he's about 6'3", 6'4",
Yeah.
and so this other, like, he was just, he was on my team, so, and we were just running the whole court, and then finally this kid came in who actually plays basketball, but he looks a little younger, maybe 18, 19, and he
Yeah.
was about 6'2", 6'3", and so the track guy would just get him under the hoop and just do like a Shaq thing where he would just bow into him, rise up, 2 hands. Ah! I'm like, what is this?
That's funny.
Yeah.
So did the younger Hooper didn't want the smoke? He just
At first, but no, he ended up getting the best of him.
did he? See?
Yeah, he ended up getting the best of him.
I played the other day, and there was 2 guys. They were younger guys, probably early 20s, both pretty athletic, good size. I had one on my team. We were good for about 2 games, and in game 3, he just decided he didn't want to guard the other guy at all.
Oh man.
He just wanted no smoke whatsoever. It was like he retired defensively in the middle of the game,
New school guys.
and he still lingered offensively for. The game. It was a damn shame, man.
Yeah. That sucks.
It really does suck to play with people that have a bit of ability but have no idea what the hell they're doing. No, it drives me crazy because it's like if you just do maybe a couple simple things that I can tell you to do, it changes everything for you.
Yeah.
You would dominate end to end. Because the guy that was the aggressor yesterday, like 2 days before he was on my team, and there was nobody on the court that could stop him from going to the rim, and he literally settled 80% of the time for jump shots and contested twos.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
It sounds like you might have been the problem.
Me?
Didn't you say when he played with you, he did that, but when he came back on the other side,
He's a bit more aggressive. So what is it? I mean,
you're coaching too much.
I wasn't coaching
You're
anything.
putting too much leash on your players.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't talking a lot at all.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just.
Maybe we need to talk a little more.
Maybe I do. I don't know. But, it was kind of annoying. But yeah, I wasn't trying to overcoach people.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be that guy.
You never want to be that guy. Never want to be that guy. But you're back on the Bench Podcast with Bubba and Pink, home of sports, music, and mayhem. We're available on all, and I do mean all podcast streaming platforms, including here on YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff.
Today we have a good show for you guys today. We have some NBA free agency, big moves that have been taking place. We're going to get into some Klay Thompson stuff there. Bronny James signs his contract. He's now officially a millionaire, if he wasn't before.
At least until the will's sorted out.
I have my top TV shows I'm watching at the moment. You see one at the bottom right there. We'll get into that.
What's the over-under on shows that I am familiar with?
Familiar with?
Probably 0.5?
Probably 0.5.
Okay.
Yeah. That you would watch, I would go at 2.
Two
Over
shows?
under 2.
That's not bad.
Yeah, over under 1.5. We're going to 1.5 for shows you
Now,
will watch.
Bubba watches some weird TV.
I haven't seen you watch a show in a while though. What's the last thing you
true.
watched?
I haven't. I've been
Yeah, I can't even
focused.
remember.
I've been focused on the Euros and Copa America.
Yeah.
Don't need shows when you have football.
One of these shows can get you away from.
You still need hoes, though.
Well, you know. Yeah, I'm not going to argue with you there.
Didn't think you would.
Yeah. No, my brain wasn't working this week, man. Not a ton of thoughts there that I was having here to talk about.
Really?
Yeah, but we was talking pre-show about that about the Orlando thing, and it is very interesting to me because I want to see where it goes from here. So you got the guy DJ Maddie who came out and basically was saying how there aren't any hit songs or hit records being made from Orlando artists, or none are popping right now, right? So you have all of these Orlando artists that come out and they're mad and they're angry and they're upset, about it, and so it's just about, okay, so is it the directive here to just, okay, I'm gonna flood DJ Maddie's inbox with songs that I have, because I know
Is that what they're trying to do?
I know there will be some.
Oh, I thought they might flood his timeline with some profanity.
Oh no, well that's already been done. So, yeah, that's already been done by themselves and their peers,
Yeah.
and or what, and also it's always like I just said before the show started. There are like some Orlando artists that I listen to all the time, whenever they drop something, and to see them in the comment section, I don't like that.
It's not a good look, you think?
No, it's not a good look, man, because it's just not a good look.
You kind of defined your status by being above this type of fray.
For real.
You should by not commenting. Right.
Yeah.
Like you're talking about the other guys, not me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or and then with what you're commenting, right? You're commenting to like to tear down him, saying, "Oh, you're not even a DJ. Well, who are you to say this? And you're not this, you're not that. You're part of the problem. X, Y, Z." But you're adding to the validity by you commenting.
Well, I agree, and particularly the comments that you just highlighted. Like, if somebody makes a statement and your response is to attack the individual and not address the statement, you have nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, you have nothing to counteract the statement that was made. Now, I mean, you're left with is, well, I'm going to attack this guy and say he ain't shit.
Yeah.
But if you actually could address his comment with something that invalidates the point he's making. But here's the thing, local artist wise, like local artist, it's not even a thing that should exist. Like, you need to be an artist and you need to push yourself out of local. And maybe you begin playing local shows or whatever, I get. But like the reach that we have, I mean, we said before the show, like a guy could record a song on a phone and release it to Spotify. Like there's no point in local artistry. Like, you make your art, whether it's song or whatever, and you push that as far and wide as you can.
I kind of
And you
disagree with that a
diligently
little
do
bit,
that.
though. Because, like, that's what I thought what he was saying was interesting, that kind of perspective that you're kind of saying, like, push, like, and kind of ignore the local part of that. But, like, I was under the impression that a lot of people kind of blew it because they did have the DJs playing them in the clubs in Orlando. And then you have an Orlando fan base that kind of is, like, where you springboard off of into these other places, like Tampa, Jacksonville, Florida. But I felt like you kind of had to have, like, a local push. Even just, like, videos that you see, like, the music videos where you see, like, whole communities out there, You see, like
Right.
people are more attracted to that kind of music. Where like, okay, everybody here is fucking with this, is like an Orlando thing. And like I always thought that's how artists blew up. But then the way he just kind of put it made me kind of think, oh well.
I mean, I think with the access, the focus has to be beyond the local. It's not to ignore or never do things local or never maybe incorporate elements of where you're from into what you're doing. But I just don't think that that's, if you get stuck arguing over what local success is, you're kind of missing the forest through the trees.
Yeah, I think both are great points though. I just think your focus just has to be on a larger scale. But at the same time, I do believe you can receive a local push and have it, boost your career and where you're trying to go. You know what I mean? At the same time.
Yeah.
And as far as when they're coming, I think a better way to address that comment or that video is to say, okay, I have X and Y or Z song, right? These are songs that I've made that I believe should be, could be, or are hit records, but this is why they're not. Okay, and so if you think you have a song, and it's only because DJs won't play it, then you need to tackle that and address that with that particular song, and say, okay, this song is hot because of X, Y, and Z. Now you have to have who else is playing it, because here goes the thing. Most DJs, it's not that DJs have an issue or a problem with playing a guy just because he's from a particular place. Most DJs are going to play whatever songs they believe the crowd is going to like.
Right.
Now because they have the power to play whatever at that particular time, I know some artists just feel like, yeah, just play it's not going to matter if you play my song in between the 3 hottest songs in America. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're just throwing about, 2 minutes, give me a verse and a hook, and then and get me out of there. I just want somebody to hear me. Like, I understand that, but that is such a big gamble, man, for a DJ, because if as a DJ you're trying to get booked again, you're trying to you want a couple people in the crowd to come up to you after the show and book you for some private events. Like, you always looking at your next gig, at your next job.
Yeah.
So playing a local artist can, it can mess up the vibe for that time. It's a big gamble, man.
Well, I also feel like, and I know like DJ Levy mentioned this, like when he's doing it, it's like, I'm not gonna play an artist's song if he's not there or he doesn't have people there.
Yeah.
But if a guy, like, if he's there and he's got people there and that song comes on, at least those people
Are gonna get lit too
should
and stuff
start
like
to
that.
turn up,
Yeah.
and then maybe that becomes infectious. So no, I understand that, but and again, that's part of like the push. Like, you can't passively sit back and say, "Hey, man, play my stuff." Like, you gotta be everywhere, pushing it yourself, and it becomes a movement.
Yeah. And there has been some some artists from Orlando, and when they make it really big, some guys will say, "Oh, they're industry plants," or this and that, because they made it like really big, like you have those Hot Boys and Pooties and things like that, guys who have been on the main stage of hip hop, which is kind of rare for Orlando as far as throughout the history. You know what I mean? But I mean, I just really believe, man, you just have to push outside of Orlando. Now that was just interesting to me. And, of course, that's just a hot button that's going on here. But there's a lot of other things that's going on elsewhere in the world. So we're going to tackle that. Let's go to some NBA here. Okay, let's go to some NBA. Let's go Bronny. Okay.
What are you laughing about?
I mean, we all know about this story.
So the Lakers signed him to a 4-year, basically an $8 million deal, 2 years. Basically 2 years are guaranteed. Third year is a player option.
Player option.
Yeah. Or maybe a team option. I'm sorry, one of those, player or team. Don't want to get hung up on that.
Yeah.
But basically aligns with LeBron. After LeBron's 2 years, ultimately, I find that interesting, because what if LeBron retires and they just cut Bronny? I find that interesting.
They will. No, I mean, it makes perfect sense to do it this way. LeBron, a surprise, we draft your son and now you're going to extend for 2 years. So then we sign your son for 2 years with, I'm assuming it's going to be a team option. other. I mean, there's no reason to give a late second round pick a
A
player
player
option.
option,
That
yeah.
doesn't make sense. So it's probably a team option. And if in 2 years LeBron steps away from basketball as an active player, and Bronny has not progressed to the point where he's a valuable NBA commodity, and I'm not saying he's got to be an all-star to be that, but he hasn't carved a niche in the league. You don't want to be contractually bound by this any further.
Yeah, for sure not.
That makes no sense at all.
Yeah, and they're saying that there's been a lot of talk and chatter whether he's going to end up on the on the bench in the rotation or for most of the season, or we end up in the G League for most of the season. And the team today said they're pretty sure like he's going to spend at least a part of the season for sure in the G League. That a lot remains to be seen. I'm going to be glued in. I am one that's going to be glued in the summer league. I usually watch a lot of summer league anyhow.
Yeah.
But definitely, I mean, his games are going to be must see just to see how he fits in with his peers.
For that, and I hope, because to me there's a disturbing trend that that higher profile guys literally play a game or two and shut it down.
Yeah.
Now I know he's high profile, but he still has a lot to prove and to establish. I hope he plays regular minutes for all available games.
Of every single game.
Yeah, I mean, and the only time I saw Summer League, well, the second time I saw Summer League live, was I was in Vegas with Juan, and we went to see the Lakers, and it was the Laker team that had Lonzo Ball and Kyle Kuzma.
Oh, wow.
And those guys, they played the whole Summer League. They went all the way to the final, and I believe they won the Summer League that summer, and they came in as rookies. I loved what they did there.
Yeah.
They let those guys just play, learn, get as much as they could out of this experience as they could. And I think that's, absolutely what Bronny needs. And I hope that they, again, the Summer League teams can be quite funky. I hope they put together like a solid team that's going to play, and not a lot of like guys that are going to play 2 games and shut down or play 3 games and shut down. Like, I hope they kind of go for it in the summer and put a group out there that's going to compete and let people grow.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That might have been me. Yeah, for sure though. I think they will, because they only you have the first round pick, the guy from Tennessee.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to play throughout the whole summer. Now, tell me what you think about this, because for Bronny, the ceiling for his play is a two-way player, right? A 3 and D player,
Okay.
right? A 3D guard. That's his prototype. I think 3 and D wings and guards, it takes them the longest to ramp up and have a successful NBA career. Now, for example, the easiest transition and what has been proven in NBA are scoring guards and rim running bigs. So if you're coming out of whatever it is, college, G League, overseas, if you're a scoring guard, it is easier for you to get into the rotation and start right away, rookie, sophomore, junior year, and sort of be and have a contribution to your team. And rim running bigs, of course, we just saw that with Dallas. He's a rookie. Those guys, right? You see that all the time. But these 3 and D people, when you think about the best 3 and D, whether it's Patrick Beverly, Drew Holiday, all of these guys, they had a longer ramp up to their careers than those rim running bigs and scoring guards. So my point to all of that is saying, we may be 2 to 3 to 4 years away from even seeing a Bronny James that can contribute on an NBA level in any way. And
If we ever do.
If we ever do.
I don't disagree with that. I've always kind of felt, though, that like the majority of players coming through the process to get to the NBA, typically, you are known as like a scorer. You are known as a guy that your team kind of revolves around. And what I feel with the 3 and D role is that it's almost like a default role that you figure out when you get to the league, and you realize, okay, I'm not going to make it in the league as a primary or secondary offensive option or, offensive guy. If I'm going to stay in this league, I've got to refine my game to a role. It's 3 and D now, but that complements our stars on the team.
And you know who's perfect for that? What, like
Who?
what you exactly describing? Austin Rivers.
Yeah, no, but I
That's
think
him in
it's,
a nutshell.
I
No,
think
no,
it's
I
a
know.
massive amount of guys.
No, it's a
Yeah.
ton of guys.
Yeah.
But what you that's exactly what happened to Austin.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, came
For
in.
sure.
We thought he could be a first, second, or third primary scoring option on the team. Didn't work out that way.
Yeah.
That wasn't. And then he realized, and it was kind of late, you know, in his career, but he realized, okay, you know, a 3-and-D guy is what's going to keep me in the league and keep me on the floor.
Yeah.
And he did what, you know, people could say what they want, but he had some, like, you know, productive playoff games as a 3-and-D guard. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I agree.
Um,
But I
yeah.
think it's a role that you kind of like essentially
fall
evolve
into.
to
Yeah.
and accept. You know, when you realize I can't be this other type of player.
Yeah.
And the way good teams are structured is, you know, you kind of have typically two guys that have license to kind of do whatever they want to do.
For better or worse.
You know, for better or worse.
Yeah.
And then, you know, maybe there's a guy off the bench who's like, you know, who has a green light to shoot it or play make or some way. And then after that, it's all about finding a role to play off of, you know, whoever your two main guys are and whatever positions they happen to play. And the quicker you figure that out as an NBA guy, the longer and smoother your kind of career path is going to be.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what is your realistic output for Bronny? Both of you guys. What do you think for this season?
His ass ain't playing.
Like,
I mean, with what you just said, like you're supposed to fit into that role. That you come to that conclusion. They're already talking him into this role,
right.
and it seems like it's all forced. You know, I've never seen a clip of him being an elite defender. I've never seen a clip of him being an elite 3-point shooter. I mean, he showed nothing in college, so like, I think he's gonna share the floor for like the whatever the record or
Ceremonial
the
purposes.
history. Yeah, fall into the G League and that's it. You know, he's isn't he like 6 foot?
6'1.5".
Yeah, I mean, if he's not Drew Holiday, Pat Bev athleticism at all.
Yeah.
I think it's just a dream.
That's always been the toughest thing to me, to even draw those comparisons. Smaller guards. Well, he's smaller than a small guard, so it's like
Yeah.
Right.
with less athleticism.
Yeah.
You know, not to say it still can't happen, because they say he has been a strong shoot. Well, he has been a good shooter in the
They said in the drill.
in the drill. But come on,
That's
man.
crazy.
Like, I mean,
That's
you
crazy.
know.
It's like the way they talk about it is so crazy.
I'm gonna tell you one other, because I brought this up like 1,000 times. Is we drafted a guy, Zaire Smith, over Mikal Bridges, and
Oh yeah.
all because Zaire Smith had a phenomenal draft workout
Yeah, I remember
the
this
owner.
one, Yeah.
for the owner.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
The biggest problem that I've seen with Bronny playing in USC is passivity. He just does not impact the game, and he plays and moves around the court in a way that you get the impression he almost doesn't want to,
mm,
and that's distressing.
You know what's crazy though? That's kind of like how Braun was playing like after those Heat Cleveland years, like super passive, not
Yeah.
really in that foot. And that's kind of the game that Bronny got out of his dad, and
And-
not that early Braun.
No, but I agree with what you're saying, and I've said this before. I think I've said it to you, Bubba. Is that I think what he's got from his dad is this kind of like notion of what the game's supposed to look like,
Yeah.
but he doesn't understand how to play when it doesn't look like that. And sometimes you just have to kind of go, stir some shit up and get after it. And I think he's almost just has this passive mindset of like, I bet you if you sat down and talked to him because of being around his dad and watching the game, he could probably like break down like film and talk like adjustments and how to play different actions, like probably as good as anybody in the rookie class conversationally.
mm-hmm.
But can he do that and play it in an impactful way?
You think that's Braun's fault though? I feel like that's like when let's say Braun is talking to Bronny after a game and telling him what he did good, what he did bad.
Yeah.
You think Braun is really just kind of saying, let's take this real like composed, wait till everything's perfect kind of game?
No, I
Or
don't
he's telling
think.
him, if I feel like Braun, if he sees his games, would have said, be aggressive.
Yeah, no, I
At
agree
some
with
point,
you.
and he doesn't say, and it doesn't look like he said that at all.
It doesn't
It
look
looks like the kind
he
of
said,
feedback
yeah.
he's telling Bronny. He's like, okay, Bronny, let the game come to you. Just make the right play, make the right pass, because he's still playing like that for the last 5 years.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean,
But
that's what it looks like.
I think the messaging could be different. I think his dad could tell him to be more aggressive, but he could watch his dad play and absorb that. And his dad's playing in this kind of
I feel like
passive way.
I feel like at some point, I mean, I would just like to see there has to be evidence that like Braun said, okay, this game, just get the fuck after it, take this to the rim, show them that you're the guy. I've never seen a Bronny game on YouTube in his whole career where it said Bronny goes off for 40 points, takes
No,
over
I
this
agree.
game.
I agree with you.
And
But
knowing Bron as a player, who he was and who he is,
yeah,
if he said that, I think at least once it should have happened. Otherwise, Bron, and I think you have to question Bron's judgment as like a coach, like the way he's kind of running the teams that he's been on
I agree with
later in his
that.
career. I don't think he's always saying the best message,
No, I agree with that. I agree with that.
That just looking at his play style, I think I would see a change if someone was telling him, "Hey, Bronny, you need to show something."
Yeah. Who knows? Hopefully he'll
But-
show us something in the summer league.
But you
Yeah.
haven't always been the most aggressive guy.
I'm not, but that's just
But
the way I see the
I've
game.
always wanted you to be more
Yeah,
aggressive.
but I see football differently than you.
Again, that's the same thing could happen here.
Yeah, but
That's my point.
that's LeBron James. If you show me your career, I'll listen, brother. But
Below the belt.
that's LeBron over there. Hey,
Doesn't mean I'm wrong.
if you tell me something
Doesn't
about
mean I'm wrong.
being a lawyer or a case, I'll listen
Fuck
straight
that.
there.
You know that's not
We're
where
talking
it's
about
at.
LeBron James.
LeBron James. All right, let's move it along here. That was pretty good there. All right, let's get into some NBA free agency, of course. Okay, so we've seen a Marauder moves so far. Let's go here. Let's give out some grades here. We'll start with my squad here, Philadelphia 76ers. Do you like what they have done so far? Are you aware of the moves they have made so far?
Paul George is the centerpiece move.
Yes, the
And
centerpiece.
what other moves have they made?
They have they got Andre Drummond in for a backup center role,
Okay.
which we vastly needed over Paul Reed, and then we got Eric Gordon as well, and then you have the draft of the guys who paints his nails, but that's not
Jared
neither
McClain.
here nor there. And then
That is here and there, my friend.
I mean, hey, if you can play, you can play. And then also, what I was gonna say, we still have a couple more moves to make here. So we'll see what they do with the remaining.
I would
Extra
give
cash
I
there.
would give them a B plus. I mean, you felt that they needed to make a move, and Paul George is one of the bigger moves available in the market. So I'll applaud that. I Eric Gordon's a guy that again him and Drummond are both like older guys, but
Reliable.
they know what they're doing, and they're going to consistently deliver their skill set. McCain, I don't think where the draft pick was made, I don't think it was a terrible pick by any means. To me, and we've talked about this off the air, like a good Jared game, he hits some shots, and it's good. But to me, when he's not hitting shots, he really doesn't have much of an impact. So I don't see him as like a real potential all-star type guy.
Will his size be a problem?
I mean, in combination with Maxey,
Yeah,
it
they
will.
can't
Like
play
together, be tough to play them unless you kind of have some favorable matchups. Now, I mean, I have read some stuff that because he's apparently a physically strong guy.
That's what
I know, like if you look at like his lower body frame, it's like it looks strong.
It looks like a Kyle Lowry lower.
Yeah,
body
yeah,
frame.
yeah. So like I could see where he could create leverage and be strong and difficult that way. But again, it's two guys that combined don't have a lot of length or size, and so it'd be tough to imagine playing them successfully in a lot of situations, extended minutes.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'll say is when I read that, because I know they list him at 6'2",
Yeah.
or whatever. But when I'm sorry, the guy who just went to Golden State Warriors, DeAnthony Melton, when he got hurt, we put Kyle Lowry there. So Kyle Lowry and Maxey played a lot. Kyle Lowry is listed at 6 foot, so that's not ideal to have him and Maxey in the backcourt.
Yeah.
Now McCain, he's a while away from starting in the NBA for anyhow, especially on a team with championship aspirations. But you do have to look at that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A guy with your first round pick, can he play with my cornerstone point guard or guard anyway? But go ahead. You do you have a grade for that?
I'm gonna give it an A. I think the problem is Paul George kind of has the same problem as Embiid. They just can't get over the hump. So
Yeah.
I think you just did the same thing they've been doing, which is getting a group of guys that haven't been able to get over the hump, and they're gonna try it again. And I just don't see them beating the Celtics.
Anyway.
Nah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, Paul George is a hell of a player, but he's older.
Yeah.
But I just got the Celtics running it back
Yeah.
to the finals. I don't know if they won the finals though.
I got you. And I'll give them a B for it. It was the only move that could be made.
Exactly.
And I've read so many articles since this happened because it's such a dangerous game to play that Morey played. The holding the cap space. We talked about this before. This was before the Paul George move. It was like holding the cap space. It felt like we were going to be assed out. Because if nobody comes, nobody comes. You're just gonna have a bunch of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And and nobody to trade. It's like we couldn't even enter the trade market because we only have 3 players on the entire roster.
Yeah.
So you can't trade for anybody because you don't have nothing. Any basketball players to trade,
Yeah.
and you just have all this money. Now, they got the guy, but he's a 34-year-old who has had injury issues and has had some failing moments, as far as like not showing up, and you had to give him the max. That's the only way you can get him. So it's almost like you did what you had to do,
Yeah.
but I'm not over the hump excited about it.
Gotcha.
But I do love the Drummond pickup. He's been our best backup big man throughout this Embiid run. We've had some terrible luck with that. And Eric Gordon just is what it is. He'll get some spot minutes, and hopefully he can hit some open threes when he gets
That
the
corner
opportunity.
3.
Yeah. Hopefully he
hit
can do that. So we'll see. Hopefully we can get Dorian Finley from the Brooklyn, and then I'll be ready to.
Is there a point for you
Well-
that you think it's time to just say Embiid's not working, we need to blow this whole thing up? I
Nah.
think it's got to come soon. I don't know.
No,
I think
never.
Embiid got to leave. Embiid need to go get him some.
If I'm Embiid, I probably leave about 2 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But if I'm Philadelphia 76ers, as a fan and as a Sixers, you
Never let him go.
You never.
Mhm.
Because you only and I said this. That's the one thing I'm proud of, because I'm not the biggest fan of Jason Tatum and those guys, but I've always said, and me and Pink always said, you just can't break that up. You just can't,
Yeah.
because it's like once you trade a superstar anyhow, you're really only going to get pennies on the dollars, and then you have to hope there's a draft pick. You have to hope that draft pick hits, because that's what you're going to essentially be trading him for, a bunch
Right.
of first rounders, and then you have to hope
And you
Yeah.
could get stuck in this draft that we just had,
easily.
where there's
Yeah.
not a lot of high
Easily.
ceiling
Easily.
players.
We did. I come from the process era, and the best things that we got from the process was Ben Simmons, a guy who doesn't want to play basketball, Markelle Fultz, a guy who just forgot how to shoot a basketball, and Isaiah Smith, who's just not even playing basketball at this moment. So it's like those were all of our
It just feels like it would take
first round picks.
something crazy for the 76ers to win.
I
Like
agree.
to beat the Nuggets, to beat the Celtics. I just don't see it. I want to see it because I like Embiid and they've been working for it, but man, I just can't see it. If that Jimmy team
I
didn't
don't blame
win,
you.
I don't know. I thought that Jimmy Butler team was the closest they could have got.
Yeah, and I agree with that.
And they
thought-
should have
yeah,
won.
I thought it was a damn near perfect team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for real.
Yeah. And that was really before Ben really dove downhill.
Oh, it definitely was before.
Yeah,
It
he
definitely
was
was
he
before.
was still pretty.
I mean,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
team
yeah.
had everything, and
Yeah.
they still couldn't get it. So I was like, oh.
I mean, but
What now?
again, it comes down to one fucking shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
that's how
unreal.
close they were. And the reality is, like, the Warriors would have crumbled in front of them just as they did the Raptors.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
you're there.
And then you're there.
you
That
know?
was the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, on the other side, we got Golden State here. All right. Not necessarily giving them a grade, but let's get into the Klay Thompson thing. So, Klay ended up choosing to leave. He ended up choosing Dallas Mavericks over the Lakers. Now, the Lakers offered him more money, okay? And then you have his dad, Michael Thompson, who works, I don't know if it's the Lakers
I
organization
think
somewhere.
he's
as a-
part of the broadcast,
broadcast team.
and has been for many years.
Yeah.
And he was a champion Laker himself as a player.
There you go. Yeah. So I'm sure Klay, grew up as a fan.
But I hate this. This is idiotic Laker propaganda. The Lakers are a bad team.
Yeah.
It's a bad job, and he's right to not go there. Like, Danny Hurley was right to pass on the Laker job. I wish J.J. Redick the best, but he didn't take a good job. He takes a job that has about a 90% chance of killing his coaching career stillborn before it ever gets going. That is a dysfunctional organization that is not built to win or progress in the next 2 to 3 years. The rest of the LeBron
It was
era.
I think it was a better win now situation than the Mavs low key, because I think the Mavs, like Luka and Kyrie, have to ball the fuck out for them to win games. And I don't think that happens consistently again in the Western Conference next year. So I don't think they're going to the finals again. I think if he went to the Lakers, they might have had a better shot.
I don't see the Lakers getting a whiff of the finals with Klay Thompson or without. I do think that I agree that Dallas has a difficult road to return to the finals or win a title, but I think the pathway and the environment is better there than it is in L.A.
Yeah, I think the difficulty level is what it is, right? And yeah, I think Dallas is closer than what the Lakers are. You know, the thing about Clay right now, and the only difference between what he's going to be doing in Dallas and Golden State is it's going to be less less off ball movement with Dallas. You know, he's going to be standing still in corners a lot, and I'm sure he's not really used to that, but he's still going to be open.
Well,
like those open shots that like that DFJ was getting and that Paul is getting, like those are some of those are gonna be coming to Clay, and he's I can't imagine. I know he had a rough shooting time this past playoff. You know, it was really bad, but I just don't see him missing all of those shots again.
No, I think team environmentally is very good because whether it's Kyrie or Luka, they're going to create a lot of open looks for teammates.
Yeah.
And again, if they're more standstill looks, maybe he hits at a higher rate. And the other thing to me is without the running burden that you have in the Warriors offense, I don't think Clay ever comes close to being an elite defender again, but I do think with less movement on offense, he has a chance to be a little bit more active and energized on the defensive end.
That's a good way to look at it.
And I think that again, if you're Klay Thompson, I don't know that there's a whole lot of better looks to maximize what you have left than to play with Luka and Kyrie in that situation.
Yeah. And shout out to Kyrie. I was very critical of him during the finals, justly so. But apparently he closed this deal here. With Clay. Yeah. It was him. Kobe says that Clay should have rode the bench until the sunset. He could have milked that for 4 more years. And that's the thing with Golden State.
He could have, but the problem is Golden State is not. And again, I'm not even talking about like on the court. Like they're not close to what they were in the past.
Yeah.
This is a broken organization that needs a rebuild from the ground up. You don't have a situation where you're going to transition from Steph and Clay to somebody else that can do anything. You've lost Bob Myers in the front office. What we knew as the Warrior Dynasty is beyond dead. And Clay would have been wasting whatever time he has left trying to rehash a former glory that's long gone.
Talk about a guy who left on time. Bob just saw this. He just saw this coming.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he played a part of this happening. But at the same time, they were in a really, really tough situation because you probably should have sold high on Clay 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And you could have traded him, but
two
you
years
can't
ago
really.
he was out with injury. Like 2 years. I mean, literally 2 years ago he was in the second year of not playing due to 2 significant injuries.
Yeah.
I don't think there was a sell high on Clay since he got hurt in the Toronto series.
Okay. Or that in conjunction with none of your draft picks hit. You really lost on Wiseman. Like in order to keep a dynasty or keep anything going, in versus what's about to happen now, which they're just about to die. Like once Steph and Draymond, they probably have a good 2 to 3 productive years that are going to go in there. They'll flirt with the 6th through 10th seed over these next 2 years.
They'll be right there with the Lakers.
After that, it's going to be like straight Charlotte Hornets for a long time. But it didn't have to be that way. Like if you hit on Wiseman, if Wiggins doesn't fucking have this baby mama kids drama and he just forgets how to play basketball, if Kuminga and this Moody guy are 2 to 3 levels above, if you hit on those, like you're cooking. You can ride this out for another 5 to 10 years.
If Jordan Poole wasn't a retard.
If Jordan Poole, you know what I mean, like.
It just, like when they won the title last,
he just lost everything.
They had like a late prime crew of guys,
yeah,
and they had these young guys that you could kind of transition to.
It was the perfect setup,
and it just all went to hell.
All went to shit.
But Wiseman's probably, again, because if you look at it, so few times does a team with all the Warriors have an opportunity to draft second.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you had
Sent him to
like
the Spurs.
David Robinson.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
they got to draft, Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
It's crazy.
And that obviously worked real good.
Yeah.
But the other one that worked real bad, as you could go back to, is the Celtics with Len Bias.
Yeah.
Like the Celtics were still good, but they were aging. They have a chance to draft at the top of the draft, and they kick Len Bias, and he dies.
I was about to say, at least that's bad luck.
Arguably, he might have done more than Wiseman
You're wrong for that.
Yikes.
as a dead guy.
Yikes.
Because at least once he was dead in the funeral, you didn't have any more false hope. So you were unburdened by that.
But when Poole started balling, that's when they should have traded Clay. Even if you could have got 2 firsts for that, even when he's coming off the injury, they should have traded him last year when he was still kind of coming back, and people were like, "Oh, well, maybe Clay will come back this year."
Yeah, I mean, just sometimes you just ride it out and let it be what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think
It's like I said, it's an impossible decision to make.
I don't think there was a great trade for Clay.
Yeah, yeah.
And also, I mean, and maybe this, I don't know, maybe a romantic notion, but it's like, I also don't think you do a guy like Clay dirty and send him to a total shitbird team just for a few things.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of teams are looking for a Clay though. There's a lot of teams in the league right now that are like, they think in their head they're one guy away from being committed. So you could have got maybe not a draft pick, but you could have got a younger guy that maybe does a different role for you, kind of in that ballpark of Clay. And that's who I was thinking they were going to trade Clay for.
Yeah.
A little bit younger, keep Poole, and then get somebody in a different position that kind of offers something.
Now, what do you guys think? I'm going to switch gears a tiny bit here about the Orlando Magic. They got KCP.
Uninspiring.
KCP was a weird signing, but
yeah. I mean, I kind of get it. He adds some shooting that they need, and he has been, at this point, he's a veteran guy that's been around some titles. So it's not horrible, but it's also not something that you wake up and you're happy that it happened.
they're still good though. I didn't think they needed to add a whole lot. If they would have got like a big free agent, you'd be like, oh wow, maybe they make a run. But I think that the young core is still there. You expect them to make another jump this year.
Yeah, but my issue is, if not now, when? Like when? When are you gonna?
But what was the move? Like, arguably, what was the move?
There's plenty of moves to make. You could have got. Wendell Carter is probably it is not probably. Wendell Carter is their weakest spot in their lineup. He's the center. You should have thrown the money and got Hartenstein over there. That was right there, easy for you to
That's
go
a good
get.
player.
Okay. And then if you combine Hartenstein, because I understand Paul George have to choose to come there. So if you combine Hartenstein with KCP, and then maybe you get a reserve a guard over there. You need I would like a point guard. Suggs is right now, he flirts in between the starting and reserve. They have too many guards over there that are one-sided. They just they just need a stronger lead guard. Okay, they just need a stronger lead guard in their center. Now, KCP is a good, like you said, 3-and-D guy. He was one of the best on the market. That's fine. But it's uninspiring because that's all you did.
Yeah,
that's not going to change their fortune. It's not going to improve their wins by 8 or so. Like
I completely agree with you. I don't know who was. Was there a legit shot? I like the Hartenstein move. I do. But again, if I'm Hartenstein and OKC's offering me in the Magic, I'm going to OKC.
Yeah. But you got the Magic had the second most amount of money to spend behind us.
Right.
You got to outbid them. But
you also, I mean, I like Hartenstein, but you do not do yourself a favor if you dramatically overpay him.
Why not?
That's
what teams do.
That good.
Teams
and for the last 5 years, I've had to listen to you bitch about Tobias Harris.
That's not Tobias Harris.
If you pay,
Tobias
there is a level that if you pay Hartenstein, you will look at him in the same light. He's a good but not great player. But if you're paying him, I don't know, some absurd figure, like you're going to start to look at what the fuck this guy's a.
That's kind of different though. Tobias Harris, you thought was like a player. Hartenstein, you know what role he's going to play.
But that's what I'm saying. But you don't want to. But my point is, you don't want to pay Hartenstein $35 million a year to outbid OKC. Like you're not doing yourself a favor.
I also wouldn't make it because I think right now with the contracts they can be patient. And they still have 2 years to see if someone else comes in free agency.
That's the thing. You do not have time to be patient. Right now, you're not spending any money. these guys, Paulo and Wagner, and you got to pay these guys in about two years.
Yeah.
You got to pay these guys, and they're going to demand max contracts because that's what everybody else is getting. And then you're not going to have.
And then you're going to show that clip of Wagner going 1 for 12 in Game 7. And be like, how about the veterans minimum, bitch?
They can clear everybody out except Paulo.
So right now is the time you can spend some money, and that way it won't hamper you when you have to,
Right, because
get
you'll have the
players in.
preferred rights on those other guys.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, but again, I don't think Hartenstein. I like him, but I wouldn't want to overpay.
That's a fair
to do
take.
that.
That's a fair take.
I mean, maybe if you could have gotten Donovan Mitchell, but I don't know that was ever truly in play. I mean, I get if you could get a really higher tier guard.
You're saying go for it. Yeah.
I would have gone for that.
Yeah.
But overall, it's just kind of uninspiring, and it's hard to tell because. And I was talking to my other son about this on the way here. Like, you make the KCP move at the beginning of the period here. Like, I don't know what other opportunities were out there, and we may never know.
And then we saw DeJounte Murray what he went for. He went for a hamburger and a medium fry.
For real.
Like you you could have done that.
That would have been a great.
And you could have
we talked
outbid the
about that like
Pelicans
a month ago for
yeah,
that.
and I could have sworn he would have went for much more. I thought they would have been demanding much more for that.
Yeah, I did.
For
agree with you.
DeJounte Murray.
Yeah.
What a great move for the Pelicans. They didn't really have to give up much to get him. And so, I'm not in love with that fit, but he's a better player than what you had. So you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And go from there.
I do think it's funny though. Like that move goes down. Like if you're the Magic or you're any other team, like did that kind of happen so quickly or in a way that like you really didn't know
Yeah.
what you might have been able to offer to do that? Like a lot of those moves are strange. Like did anybody really have a chance to get into that negotiation and top that offer?
Yeah.
Because you look at it now and you're like, gosh, we definitely could have done that. But was the deal closed like kind of so quickly and such a foregone conclusion?
Maybe Magic are still kind of believing in their guards.
Maybe they are.
I believe
I don't know if they're
I believe in
believing in
Suggs, though.
Suggs is the only, and that's because he has an identifiable trait, and he's really good at it. But he still has to. He's going to have to become a more dynamic offensively.
Yeah.
He's just going to have to in order for them to excel in the playoffs, man. Like that Cleveland series, they just had a problem scoring. They just had, what I mean? You have to score the ball. You have to be able to score the ball, no matter how much defense you play. Because he's out there. Donovan Mitchell is still scoring 40 and 50 points.
Yeah.
How much defense is Suggs really playing? You know what I mean?
Right,
Like you could be a great defender, and he is a really good defender. But these guys, man, who can score the ball, you're just not going to be able to stop them.
It's levels.
You got to match them.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah.
For bucket.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So we got those three teams there, and then the rest of the teams, like you said, Golden State.
I like Chris Paul to San Antonio.
Yeah.
That was a sneaky.
I
like,
really
decent.
enjoyed that. At
Yeah.
this point, I regard Chris Paul as like a player coach.
Yeah.
And I think having him there with Wemby is going to pay huge dividends.
Not only with Wemby, of course, because Wemby is there, but they drafted that young guard
from UConn.
Yeah.
Stephon
Like,
Castle.
you can mentor him, do whatever you want.
And
you know what I mean?
Johnson too. Keldon Johnson.
And Kel Johnson
Keldon, I guess,
and
maybe.
Darius Vassell is also another
Yeah,
guy.
Vassal's like a scoring guard.
bit
I
of
like
promise.
Vassell. He's a scoring guard.
What's the other guy who kind of had a little bit of the Soshan?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
the
what
French
he
guy,
said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought-
They
I'm
had him
sorry, I
running
thought you said-
point guard a little bit.
Yeah.
Because Vassell is a scorer. Yeah. Now I wonder will Chris start or will they do the youth movement and have him? That's going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like
It's
they
been a
kinda
while
need him.
since Chris Paul has started.
I think they need him at start. They need a point guard playing.
Yeah.
With Wemby, that could be dangerous.
That's the thing. I would be very comfortable starting him, maybe even just 6 minutes the first quarter. But Chris Paul's going to get you started in a game the right way.
He's going to start and finish the game.
But again, he's going to get you out of the gate in a game where you're going to get, for the first 5 or 6 minutes, you're going to get the ball where you want it to go, to the people you want it to go to, and do they hit the shots?
Yeah.
And so you're going to have a composed start to each game with him.
And end in the game.
And then when you
I think that's
when
gonna
you
be
get to a
big.
Which is
closing
most
situation,
important, yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
And again, we kind of talked about it when there was the notion of maybe Trae Young to center. But the point being this is that we know Chris Paul is diminished defender, but you've got Wemby behind you.
Yeah.
And that changes how you can defend and play. If you're like an older guy like Chris Paul, you can almost kind of face guard people, knowing almost inviting them to try to go behind you into Wemby's area.
Well, when you're a Spurs defender, you can just push all of your guys off the 3-point line
Right.
and say, yeah, if you want to go to the hole, I mean, that's totally up to you.
Good luck. I wouldn't advise it, but
Totally up to
I
you.
do think it's again, it's not Chris Paul of old, but for what it was, I really like that move.
I do.
What are the Hawks doing though?
Sucking.
What's Trae Young staying there for? They need to
Yeah.
get him over.
So
somewhere.
what I read yesterday was that their price for Trae Young is so high and it's out of control, which is so weird to me because DeJounte Murray price was so low for them.
Mm-hmm.
So they are obviously, and I understand because I know Trae is a marketing like machine for them, and I know they make a lot of money off his face, name, and likeness, and all of that stuff. But I think they're closer in players as far as just player for player than Atlanta actually believes. Like
I'm not a big Trae Young guy.
Yeah.
I don't think that he's a guy that will ever be a winning guy, like a championship caliber player.
yeah,
And I think he's certainly good enough to put up some stats and give a team some moments and some highlights. But I don't think he's really a winning NBA level player, and I wouldn't put too much on him. So I mean, credit to the league if they're just passing on, bad demands for Trae Young.
Crazy how that Trae Young Doncic debate aged.
Oh,
Was it
man.
ever a debate though?
It was for the rookie season. I'm not saying
Among who,
after
though?
that.
Yeah,
Everybody was
the
like,
people.
Trae.
People
was a
were.
thing.
People were.
The unwashed masses?
Nah, everyone, you included.
Oh, no.
Someone pull up a clip.
Go ahead. I was never a Trae Young
I think
guy.
you said draft Trae.
No, I didn't. No,
Say, who's this Euro boy?
no, I actually was high on Luke as a draft pick.
It is tough.
Because
though.
I did not like that class. I didn't like Ayton. I didn't really like Trae Young. And I was drawn to the fact that, like, with Luka, it's like this guy has had success at a pro level, like, already. Like, and I actually thought at the time Phoenix had a European coach.
Oh yeah, the
And
Eastern European guy.
yeah,
forgot
I
his name.
actually thought that they would pull the trigger on Luka first, and they already had like an Eastern European who would, to me, would probably have great respect and feel very comfortable that he could get the most out of a guy like Luka. And
He should've- he should've known.
to their discredit, they took Ayton.
Because the problem is, especially with us on stateside, we just honestly didn't know. Like you really just you only have those tapes or whatnot. They're doing like some type of like short documentary on that Slovenia team. I think they went to the
Oh, I saw a little bit of that.
yeah.
It's already out.
I
Or
saw it
just
on
snippets?
on the plane when I was flying here. I saw like the little thing,
I-
a little bit of it from it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's probably the same thing I saw. It's like a little clip. Yeah, and Gordon Dragic was saying because at the time Luka was like 15 or something. And he was like, yeah, this is going to be the best player in the world. And Gordon Dragic was is it Gordon Dragic? Am I saying?
Yeah, Goran Dragic.
It is, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and he was he's the starting point guard for the team, but Luka would come in off the bench, and then he ended up starting closer to the end of that run there. And he was just like, yeah, this kid is going to be the best player in the world one day. I was like, damn, that's crazy that they got this on tape and then is whatever.
But
But
sometimes you just like you
just
can
know.
see it.
Yeah.
You know.
and he was Dragic in that world, like especially then, like he was a big deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those world championships and
And he had a very good NBA career.
And he had a
Like,
very
and
good
again,
NBA
like
career.
he's not a guy that's like was based in Europe in his prime and might not even be that familiar with the NBA. He was in the NBA. Like he knew
Yeah.
what he's talking about, and he's telling you the 15, 16-year-old guy is going to be the guy.
Yeah. Alrighty here. Really quick before we move along here, we're going to go to the starter bench with Coach Pink, bringing that back here. Okay. I want to give a quick shout out here to 1887 Night Market. The time is here. We did a quick commercial for this a while back. But July 6th is going down, all right, from 5 to 9 p.m. Okay, so you have live DJ, you have local food vendors, okay, food trucks, fresh produce, all of that stuff, a bar. Come out, okay, it's something to do. And also, you can spend your black dollar in a black community. Of course, Edenville, Florida, the first incorporated black town in American history, okay? So come out and show some support. There you go.
What was in the long pause?
Gotta get the
Were
pause.
we
in
were
there.
we supposed to like
No,
respond?
no, I
in some
needed
way?
the pause
For
there.
everybody to read, man.
Needed the pause there for dramatic effect. 'Cause it's important.
I was concerned you were having a seizure. I don't know. I actually reviewed a contract in connection with this event. The
Oh
other day.
man, reviewing contracts.
Yeah.
Food good out there though.
Hell yeah,
Eatonville.
it's gonna be good.
You're a big Eatonville food guy?
We went there in middle school on a on a trip during like the Zora Neale Hurston day.
Oh yeah. The
and
Zora
the
Neale.
food was good, man.
That's one of the main things about the Zora Neale is the food vendors.
It's
Some
so
people go
good.
go out there only for
Uh-huh.
the food vendors. I don't blame them. I don't blame them. All right, so let's get into some starter bench with Coach Pink here. All righty, it's been a month or two, huh?
Yeah.
I see something you about to bench.
I
All stars.
don't know.
Oh
No,
yeah.
We're starting that.
You can take the lead, Coach
You
Pink.
can take the lead.
On that. I will continue to give 0 shits and 0 fucks.
Come on,
Oh
man.
man,
Just
come
tell,
on now.
just tell the fans, Caitlin Clark, or what's her name?
You're on top of things, aren't you?
Well,
Um,
let's
What's the other one's name?
let's go ahead and start there. Starter bench.
Let's hope you're not on top of either one of those bros.
WNBA All Stars. That is Angel Reese
Oh yeah.
of Chicago Sky
I don't know who that is.
and Caitlin
You didn't know
Clark.
who that was?
Oh no, I know now the name.
And Caitlin
Alright.
Clark of Indiana Fever. Starter bench these.
Come on,
I'm
Kate.
benching him, but he's gonna start him.
I'm benching it, but I'm gonna just say they gotta stop hating on Caitlin Clark.
Why?
Cause she hooping. I mean, don't you want the women's game to be perceived more for its skill? And that's a skillful player. So if anything, that WNBA should be pushing that kind of player. Like, okay, it's not just people catching their own rebounds and missing 3-point shots. This is a person that can dribble, pass, and shoot. Like the product looks better if you're promoting that kind of player. But like they're making this a whole debate between like, black versus white, or why is she getting so much attention? She's getting so much attention because no one's seen a woman player consistently play like that. Other than like the Breonna Stewarts and some of those legends, you know, but in modern day, I mean, she built a fan base in Iowa. You gotta give respect to that.
What do they have else to do in there? In Iowa.
Support the team, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like that, you don't have a lot of options.
I mean, she built a national fan base. Everyone was
Yeah.
talking about it for a while. I mean, respect to Angel Reese too. She hooping, but I mean, she hooping like, I mean, it's not great to watch.
None of it's great to
it's
watch.
dominant. I mean, Caitlin Clark's alright to watch.
It's not. No, I mean, I get the argument you're making. I mean, you want to reward, and I make this point like in broader cultural issues too. But it's like you want to reward good things that have merit, things that advance your craft. And so, in that level, I get what you're saying. I do.
But I mean, it's like, I mean, you don't really care about women's basketball, but like, it's become such a huge topic. Now I watch like Sports Center and all these things, and they're talking about women's basketball. Not
Oh,
even
they
just
do.
about this. Like, I've noticed visibly how much they're like
Yeah.
talking about women's sports in general. Like,
No,
because of all this.
this has been a tremendous catalyst for the women's game.
They're paying
Okay.
And
Kendrick
just,
Perkins.
I know, right? Just to give you guys an example here, last year, 2023 WNBA All-Star, the voting results, the top vote getter was Asia Wilson with 95,860. Okay, 95,860 votes. This year, the top All-Star voted, of course, is Caitlin, but with 700,000.
Think that's crazy.
735.
That's crazy.
And then not only that, so you know, for last year, it just goes down from 95,000 down to 63,000 for the top vote getters. This year, 700,000 is Caitlin, and then the lowest out of the top 5 is 381,000 Angel Reese. So all the basically,
everyone got a bigger platform. For
Yeah,
this.
you got a
And
massively
that's
bigger
what I'm
platform.
saying. They're all saying, like, kind of getting mad at Caitlyn because she's the face of them, but they've all gotten so much more. Like, I've heard more about Breonna Stewart and Sabrina Iowanovsky or whatever, just because, like, the whole Caitlin Clark thing, you know, like, everyone's getting love off this. So it's just on you now that people are watching the games to show whether you're worth watching or not. And I think a lot of them are taking it personal, but it's like, Angel Reese, you're on TV now. If you're that good, show us.
but I do side with them though,
How so?
because they are a lot better than Caitlin, and I can see it being frustrating for like, I'm way better than this person, but you guys only want to watch this person. Why is that? You know what I mean? Like I can understand.
I mean,
that.
I get the frustration, but again, this is like where sometimes you have to look at data and say that the All-Star voting is going, like, there's just more eyes on what I'm doing. Like, I was doing this in an empty forest that nobody knew was happening. And now I'm doing it where there's light on it, and people have a chance to, who had no idea who the hell I was, even though I might be an MVP or top 5 player in the WNBA. Now, because this person's come into the league and there's more attention on the league, there's a broader amount of people who know who the hell I am and what I do.
But that's fake.
It's not fake.
It is. It is. The best player in the WNBA, and she has been now for about 4 years now, and it's like, I mean, she's like the LeBron James, Michael Jordan, like she's that level compared to everyone else. Is a Jared Wilson. Nobody talks about her. Nobody talks about her.
Okay, well, no, I would give an example. Like, I did not know she existed until this year. And only because of all this WNBA fanfare, I have heard the name. I've seen a bunch of stuff about her dominance
But
and her
she hasn't been
statistical
on TV.
achievements.
She has the people who have been on TV are the people who Caitlyn has are playing against, you know what I mean, and who she has like whatever like the Angel, because they have this whatever, it's supposed to be this Michael Larry thing,
Faux rivalry.
Yeah, faux rivalry.
Yeah.
That's who's getting the shine because she's attached to the Caitlyn Clark story. Jared Wilson, who is the best player on the planet, she's not attached to that story in any kind of way, so she's not really she's not benefiting from it.
Well,
And she hasn't said anything about Caitlyn.
No. But I mean, I still think that you're benefiting because, again, the way this grows, you're having a bunch of people that never gave a damn about the WNBA tune in and watch games.
That's me.
And
Yeah, for real.
but to be fair, my point is, I didn't know who AJ Wilson was at all before this a month ago.
Neither did I. Well,
neither
before,
did you.
I mean, yeah.
But
last
you.
season, I thought you was gonna say before.
But you have now you've actually learned enough about it that
Yes.
you're putting it in there. She's benefiting because of that. It may not be directly in her pocket or this or that.
Yeah.
But here's an example of 3 people who probably didn't know who the hell she was.
Yeah.
And now we do. You did back in the day? All right, man. I didn't know that about you. I didn't know that about you.
The JU women's basketball coach is coaching at Ole Miss now, and she used to tweet about it in there. She's friends with Aja Wilson. She's pretty well known. So I just kind of knew. But yeah,
inside JU connection.
it's okay if they feel some type of way. That's 100% okay. They should take it personal every time they play on the court. Yeah. Why is she getting so much attention? Let me hoop out. But then there was the cheap shots that some people are doing, and it's why are you blaming her? Caitlin's not there's no string she's pulling to be the face of the league. And there's been white players that have been hooping. Sabrina Ioanowska was there's the same hype.
You have a bunch. You have Taurasi.
I don't know why. I have no idea why she's so big. I have no idea why
it was
such a thing.
It was that.
It's the rivalry.
No, honestly though, it was the race in America, and it was the timing of that game last year. And you had a black and a white opponent, and that was the thing. It triggered white America. That's why this is important. And on that level of it, I don't like the story because of that. I'm okay with the basketball. I'm not a women's basketball fan. I'm not going to fake that I am. But as far as her being a good player and finding her way in the league, I respect that for what it is. But this whole thing came about because of how we deal with race in America.
Yeah, because they did have all those stories about injuries and I guess they kind of made it about how black women were acting in sports.
Exactly.
And that was a big topic as well.
And it triggered up white America to support this girl, and it became a storyline. And you had the oddity too that both of those players are coming back to college for another year. They both made again deep tournament runs. Everything lined up to have a rematch. That's what it is. I mean, and I don't like that part of the story. I think that's horrific because. It's horrific because it shows how horrific we are as a people.
They got Kendrick Perkins working overtime, man. Kendrick Perkins every single day is talking about women's basketball.
Oh.
They got him all overtime.
He needs to go get some more fatty foods at the Golden Corral and
he's
over.
the worst personality on
He's
TV.
awful.
I have no idea why he has
awful.
a platform of all NBA players.
Yeah, he's awful.
He's
Perk's
pretty.
the biggest hater of all time.
He's pretty bad.
He's useless.
LeBron unfollowed him on.
Yeah, because Perk just be hating on people.
It's not 100%. But I think guys like him get in that space and they realize the only way they can stay is if they
To
stay.
do that, to be the hater.
Yeah,
And
to say
again,
outlandish stuff.
That's the thing. We need to get rid of those people. Stop giving them the platform.
To get rid of those people, then you have to get the official step to get rid of those people is the first get rid of the idiots in the world that
Well, he's
loves
one of them.
the loves. no, the consumers.
Yeah. No,
He's there because of
you're preaching to the
yeah.
choir because we have a level of ignorance that prevails in this country that's unacceptable.
like, cause basically, essentially, ESPN did that whole whitewash, not whitewash, but they fired a bunch of their employees. Essentially the spot he took was Jalen Rose. That's the spot he
Okay.
took. Jalen Rose was in that spot, but Jalen Rose was always like a neutral guy. He wanted to talk more like basketball stuff.
I enjoy Jalen Rose.
You know what I mean?
I've-
There you go.
There was a couple guys they fired in that whole round.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
no,
there was a bunch.
they flushed out a bunch
I was
of
thinking
people.
about that too, though. Like how much, especially when I just came back past few days, like how much of American culture like runs on like hating or like
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
negative, like the news, sports. It's like you just have to have a negative opinion on everybody.
Yeah.
One bad game, should we fire the coach? Or is it time for
Yeah.
a change?
No, for sure.
Yeah.
It's like everything. You can't see any like positive news anymore. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It does. It sucks the energy out of you.
Alrighty here. Next. Okay. Let's go Lonzo Ball. Start a bench.
He's been on the bench for a while. Let's give him a start.
I need to hear I need to hear context.
Well,
What's going on with
it's
him?
not a ton of context. It's just that he's back in the gym, putting in work. Okay. Last time he played in the league was January 2022. That's surprising
That's crazy.
to me. Okay.
Felt like longer.
And in this clip, he was mastering reading the defense.
What does that mean?
As a point guard, I guess you're reading the defense.
Okay.
He's mastering
He's still
it.
on the Bulls.
Yeah, still
Yeah.
bull.
What's going on with the Bulls?
Not a lot.
Yeah.
I like Lonzo Ball as a player. I'm not here to tell you he's a superstar, but I liked his game when he was at UCLA. I liked, flashes that he's shown in the league. I hope he gets to come back. I mean, I'm all for the comeback story. I love when Sean Livingston made his way back and became
I
a
did.
serviceable guy.
Everybody loves that.
I even felt pretty good about like Markelle Fultz. Kind of, it hasn't been great, but
I
he's
love that.
he's had
yeah.
some success with the Magic, and that's cool.
Mhm.
Like I have a lot of respect for any player that goes through some really crappy situations and comes out the other end and salvages their career in some way. So I'm rooting for him to succeed here for sure.
What's going on with Melo though? Is he play? Did he play this season?
LaMelo,
played,
LaMelo
he
played a
played.
little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he got up to about 20 games or so.
I haven't heard about them in all.
Nah.
Well, you're not gonna. Well, you're not gonna hear about them. You hear about him more than them because the team is awful.
Yeah, he's
Charlotte.
another guy. Like again, number one, he's got to get consistently healthy so that he can actually have an impact. And then if he does that, he probably needs to get out of Charlotte and put
Welcome to
himself in a
Orlando?
situation. Yeah, he's got to put himself in a
Why not?
situation where you can try to win. But again, I think he's got to put together a good streak of like health
Yeah.
before he becomes like okay, we really know what we want. to
How
get
many
this
years
guy.
he been in the league? It's been.
It's same as Ant Edwards, right?
Was he in that draft? He was
I
in
thought
the
they came
Edwards draft.
together, yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was him.
4 then, year 4.
It was Ant, Wiseman, and him were the top 3.
Okay. Yeah.
So they're all in the same 4 years.
I think it's year 4.
Okay,
And
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know they all came in together.
Crazy.
All right. Here next, let's go with Georgia teachers.
Looks like they're blowing some students. I'm here for it.
You're here for it.
Honorary start.
2 Georgia teachers have been accused of having sex with their students.
Yeah.
Have
I
you?
mean-
Did you ever hear about that when you guys were in school?
Back in the 80s.
Back in the
I'm
80s,
asking
though.
both
That
of
was
you
right,
guys.
though.
So you when you were in school, and then you when you
Yeah,
were
no, it was kind of bad though. It was Eugene Reed, the music teacher at my elementary school. When I was in 6th grade, he got arrested for having like molested, sexual predator stuff some kids in the school.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it was
That's scary.
yeah, he was molesting boys in the school.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean like
Was he
You-
a pastor?
no, he like literally fit the profile. Like, and again, when I was in 6th grade, I didn't know it, but then when I started to watch like To Catch a Predator, it kind of made sense. He was like a 40-plus-year-old guy. He was a music teacher in the school. No, not married, no children. Had some kind of effeminate mannerisms. And then he was not in any way, like shape or form, an athlete. But he always coached basketball at my elementary school, and he always coached Little League baseball. And so if you really look at it, it's a 40-year-old, essentially gay male who put himself in any position he could that would be around younger boys.
Yikes.
And it was the whole thing. Like the people that he was convicted of molesting were like the vulnerable groups. It was his boys who like maybe didn't have like a father, had the broken home, and I think he kind of would insinuate himself to the family as kind of this father figure, mentor.
Sure, he not a pastor.
I mean, in his
He might
spare
be a
time, he
priest.
might have been.
There's another twist to this story too.
Yeah.
I'm reading now.
But I did see that, but sadly, it wasn't the type of sex I would have preferred back in those days.
Hold on, is that the same teacher, or those are two different teachers at the same school?
Those are two different teachers
at the
Okay.
same
at the
school?
same. Yeah. So,
Oh,
well,
hell.
what they're saying is the same
Were
school
they
district.
collaborating?
They're saying
or?
the same. So, a pair. This is how the story reads: a pair of ride or die best friends. So they're best friends.
That's crazy.
They were in each other's wedding parties.
All right.
Okay, all of that stuff. So they're friends. They're charged with having sex with male students while they worked for a Georgia school district. So that's what they're
Students.
saying.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's more than
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Between 2021
I,
2022.
I'll bet you it was a contest.
Huh?
Who could get more dudes?
Come on, man.
I'm serious. Based on what you said,
Yeah.
they're close. They're both doing this. They're probably sharing with each other that
I don't
they're
get.
doing
I don't get
this.
why the woman do it. Cause I mean, as a woman, it's so easy to get laid. But I see like I don't see her. I don't see her sympathize.
Thanks for enlightening us.
But like with the men is like the profile that I'm used to, like an
Yeah.
old guy, cause he's just like using his position to like get something that he can never get in real life. But like,
Yeah.
what do they want from a 16-year-old boy?
No,
That shit
but these stories happen a lot.
No, it's common. I was
I
gonna
mean,
say it
there's
happened in,
something
Hackerton.
about it. Who knows? I mean, that's the thing. Like why, why do the dudes go for the younger women or boys? Maybe the women have the same thing. I mean, to me, they kind of probably get to kind of control the relationship in a way that maybe they're not controlling other relationships in their lives or that they've had.
You think that the little dudes had the sauce?
The little dudes have the sauce.
Oh,
yeah.
no, they could just be smooth brothers, man.
They could be.
They must have been.
Boys are. I imagine they're going to tell.
Everybody.
Yeah.
You
like-
got to figure, yeah.
They're not going to be able to keep
Yeah.
that under wraps.
Nah, and that's not good thinking on these.
They
ladies'
probably took a
part.
video and everything.
Yeah, it's
It
probably.
was on Snapchat. I know that thing was on Snapchat.
Yeah.
We got
Yeah.
two more quick ones we got to roll through here, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's go with who was that up top here? That is Chris Brown, started bench.
Oh, Chris Brown. Yeah, I like him.
Yeah.
So there's been a recent social media trend here for the past few months with Chris Brown. Well, he's charging folks to take pictures with him, men and women, but a lot of these are women. And when he's charging them, $1,000 to meet him and take pictures, and these they're taking pictures like this where he's grabbing their ass and stuff like that. The problem is a lot of these women are married or in relationships, and apparently about 5 different couples have already divorced.
Because of Chris
Because of
Brown
Chris-
pictures.
Yeah, look at him, man. He's
That's
grabbing all on him.
Yeah. Got a lot of ass to grab in those pictures.
Chris
You
Brown
know,
about his
This-
check, man.
this-
He
there seems
about
there
his
seems to
money.
be one particular type of woman.
I
that's
mean,
like,
but what a racket! Though. You're gonna pay me
Big girl.
$1,000 to molest you. I mean, come on! Like, this is a gift. It keeps giving. I mean, I don't know.
What if you're the
If you're-
boyfriend, the husband, the
Well, I mean, it's
guy
one
who's
of,
dating her, or whatever?
it's one of those things that, like, if the woman you're with is so driven that she needs to spend $1,000 to have Chris Brown grab her ass and take a picture to memorialize it, like, you don't need her. You don't need it. Like really. Like, what are we trying to do?
And I feel like they was doing that just so they could try to fuck, which is the crazy part.
Yeah.
Like I bet those women thought they had a chance
yeah,
to
yeah.
fuck him if they took that picture, which is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Ah, it's true.
That's Chris Brown, man.
Hey, get a couple drinks in him.
This is just business.
Get a couple drinks in him. He'll tap anyone.
What a way for a guy who he's he's seeing royalties. He's getting he still gets music checks. Like he's not
Yeah.
hurting at all.
No.
But what a way to
What a hustle.
that's a hustle,
I mean,
man.
it's crazy.
Because it's a unique hustle.
And
I don't think
here-
I've heard of something like
Here's
this
the
before.
funny thing too. Like how many of the boyfriends? That's their $1,000.
That's crazy.
Like that's tough.
That's really tough.
That's tough. Like,
That's really tough.
you know.
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
know,
And you know, and he's a funny guy because he does like there was one he did with this guy that went viral, and it was like they dressed up as Dragon Ball Z characters, him and the dude.
Really?
Yeah,
On
did
the-
you see
the
that
little-
one? Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he did that. And
See, that's cool.
yeah.
That's something.
But I mean, I'm not paying $1,000 so
Nah,
Chris
nah,
Brown can
nah.
do this with me.
Yeah.
But I would do the picture like if it was free. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, the whole like I'm paying for it or whatever. I just don't know. I, like
Okay. It's Chris Brown. What if it's Mbappe?
I'm not paying $1,000 for that.
The thing is, though,
You're not paying for $1,000 picture with Mbappe?
No.
yeah,
I wouldn't. No.
you're talking about going to the game.
Yeah, going to the game. I don't need a picture with
Well, I'm
Mbappe.
saying I was thinking that this is like a meet and greet, and it came with the ticket to the show and to the VIP.
But you're paying an extra $1,000 for that.
I don't know if it's extra $1,000.
No, that's
I feel
what I'm saying.
Is it? I mean,
They're paying
The
$1,000.
photo op is $1,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's
like,
what
whatever
It is.
you get
Yeah.
your ticket.
So let's say
Yeah.
there was 1,250 in total, 250 for the ticket. Go to the game, Euros, and meet Mbappe, 1,250. You're saying yeah, because you get the game and you get to meet him.
Yeah, I would do that.
So you just like that. Where do you want? Do you want to say hand on your ass?
No, dude, I would like. I don't know. It wouldn't even be about like meeting it. Like what I would love to be is like, if I could get a pass to just be like in the locker room, post game, pregame, halftime, listen to what they say, and have an interpreter in case it's in French. No, I mean to me that's more fascinating. Like, okay, well I'm watching the game. What are y'all actually talking about at halftime?
Yeah.
Like, what's the adjustments? What do we do here? No, that's way more, But just paying anything for a picture with somebody just not really that appealing.
Yeah. All right, last one. Rapper BG, formerly a hot boy with Lil Wayne in the group, whatever. Started bench.
It was an interesting thing. Like I was wondering why.
Yeah. So rapper BG has been ordered to have all future songs approved by U.S. government. So a U.S. federal judge has refused prosecutors' request to prohibit BG from promoting and glorifying future gun violence and murder in songs and at concerts while on supervised release from prison. Okay, saying that such a restriction could violate his constitutional right to free speech, but that's still going to be a thing. So, what do you think about that? And also, you
So
know, you got the whole
what
young
is-
stuff.
But okay, so like, what is the? So he went to jail for what?
I imagine for a couple of things,
Okay,
but
I mean, is it like
probably it's a mix of drugs and guns.
right? But I
violence.
guess my question would be like, what do his songs have to do with his crimes? If they're not, to me, if they're not truly connected, I don't see why this is a thing. If somehow the charges that he's was in prison for are connected to the songs, like, I don't know, inciting violence in others or whatever, I kind of get the logic of maybe having some sort of supervision over this. But again, you're in a really funky First Amendment space as to what this guy can sing or rap about or not. And again, how exactly are they going to enforce this in terms of the approval? Like, are they literally just going to be like, everything he shows them, no, not approved, not approved, not approved? Or is it going to be like, okay, yeah, this is good, but I'm not okay with this line or this verse here, change it and we're good. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And then what is the, like, of the stuff that's potentially not approved, like, what exactly is he saying? Like, how generic is it? Is it different than what other rappers are saying?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, or is it basically the same thing, but we're going to not approve his song? It's a really weird area, but I mean, I guess it's kind of almost like a fascinating legal study of like, what's the basis for doing this? And does it make any sense if you're potentially not approving songs or lyrics from him that other people are basically saying the same things in their song?
This is a super bizarre story to me because I didn't even know this was possible. This was a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, that's just crazy. And they're already, and rappers are already trying to stop them from being able to use lyrics in courtrooms, That's been a thing with the Young Thug trial and some other things there.
Yeah.
I know Jay-Z is involved in a couple other cases, not himself personally, but on the behalf of others. And because that's just it's and that I kind of understand, but at the same time, it's supposed to be an art form, and a lot of these guys do lie. But then you got you got the
people
rare,
not lying,
yeah. So I don't know, but we'll see where that goes. I want to see a song that does not get approved, like you said.
Yeah, that's like, what are we not approving?
And I hope they release that to the public so we can see. And I want to see. I hope BG said, yeah, this is what they won't let me release out to y'all or whatever.
Yeah, that's
let
the
us
most
know.
that's the most fascinating thing.
Yeah.
What do you what can you do?
Yeah. I'm sure back that ass up, they would have let that fly.
They better.
if he has a part
think
2.
My thing with Back That Ass Up is I think that at 3 p.m. in every afternoon that should be played. I think we'd better be a better people.
Even at work? I mean, yeah, at work
especially
still.
at work.
Yeah, okay.
That's the whole point. Like, you're working, you've had a heavy lunch, you're kind of struggling through that afternoon period of work, and at 3 o'clock we're gonna back that ass up for about 4 minutes, and then we'll get back to it.
Then we get back to it.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful. But I mean, I do think, though, I don't have a problem, like, in court using lyrics against people.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's the only evidence you have, it's an overreach. But if you have, other evidence that tracks a song lyric, like, yeah, you did this to yourself.
It's self-snitching.
Yeah, it really is. You
Yeah.
know. But as standalone evidence, I would not be comfortable with somebody being convicted with, like, little more than a song. Like, there's got to be some other, tangible evidence, form of evidence that connects the dots there.
There you go. I'm all with that. Once again, you guys are still on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink, home of sports, music, and mayhem. We're available on all podcast streaming platforms, including here on YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Let's get to some TV shows that I'm watching here. Okay, top 5 shows that Bubba is watching right now. This is actually a really good time for me. I'm not the biggest soccer original football guys. These two sitting next to me are. So this is a dead period for me. Okay, there's no basketball, there's no football.
Off-season work.
This is off season. I'm putting in real off season work
In front of your television.
So please appreciate the work that I have done for you guys. Okay, some of these I've talked about in the past, but these are new seasons. For example, number 5 here, I have The Chosen, which I have talked about before. Number 5, this is a new season, season 4. Okay, again, it's not that, I'm not the guy, I don't go to church every week. I don't, whatever.
You
But
ever
this,
go?
I did. I grew up in the church. Okay.
How long has it been since you attended?
Whatever the last funeral or wedding was.
Okay.
Okay.
How about the last time it wasn't a funeral or wedding?
Oh man, it's been a while.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a while.
You're not supposed to ask that far, bro.
Yeah.
That we grew up in the church.
Yeah, I wasn't
Yeah,
gonna.
you're
I
not.
wasn't gonna accept just growing up. I grew up in the church. Look where that got us.
So of course, The Chosen is about following the life of Jesus Christ, but it is it's entertaining. It is good, strong acting. The writing doesn't really have to be strong because it's literally just some of the events that you see in the Bible, and they just bring it to life on film.
Does it? It sort of like tracks like the biblical story. It doesn't take
Yes.
a lot of license on it.
What do you mean by license? What do you mean by
Well,
that?
I kind of make some shit up, and like Jesus had a drinking problem, and he actually maybe diddled a
we
boy
ain't
or
standing
two.
for that blasphemy on there, man. We're going
I'm
to the
just,
church,
just saying we could go a lot of directions with Jesus.
No.
He's a potentially versatile
We ain't
character.
drinking nothing.
No. Like there's a little things they do for Hollywood effect, but not. It's for the things outside of Jesus. You know what I mean?
So it reads true to the biblical history of Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
yeah,
cool.
Yeah. All right.
Just checking because I ain't watching.
Well, he said 2 out of 5. So
Yeah, that's not
There's one
that's not a show for you.
Nah, yeah,
we're gonna get you one though.
But you have to believe me when I say it's a good show. Okay.
I do.
All right. Thank you. Number 4. Okay, I'm coming in with The Boys. Okay. Now this is a new season for The Boys.
Oh, are you?
Huh?
No, did he?
No, did it? This is a new season for The Boys. This is a strong show. this season should be better than what it is. With their budget, with their level of actors, and it is a decent storyline. It's just this season. It's just a solid season, okay?
What's the
But
premise of The Boys?
so The Boys is it's sort of it's in the sci-fi lane, but it's superhero show. Okay, so you got these people here. They have superpowers, and that's the storyline that it follows. And then you have they're going up against the corporation who kind of started and created them. Have you ever heard of this show?
I've heard a lot of people tell me that this is a really good show. It's
Yeah.
kind of like they say like it's kind of like a parody satire on superhero movies, but at the same time there's like a real storyline.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I've actually heard a lot of people telling me, like multiple people have told me this is a really good show.
Yeah,
I haven't watched
yeah.
it yet. I want to, but I've heard good things.
The action scenes are great. It is a really good, solid show. This season I don't have a lot of hope for another season after this one. It seems like it's getting to that point where it's like, hey, it might be a
Running
little
out
too
of
much.
steam a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
But still a really good show. I'm tuning in every week. Okay. All right. Coming in at number 3, we have Ghost. Okay, this is a power book. This is one of those 50 Cent shows here. Okay. A new season here. Okay, this is a really good show as well. You got these guys coming back now. Think about this season. This is a really good season as well. I love the writing. I love the direction they're taking here. Okay, it's a lot of moving parts each show, so they're doing a really good job. Can't wait for the next episode to come out on Friday. Now they've already said that this will be the last season of this show, which is interesting. So he's stopping it while the pan is still hot. Okay, so that's kind of unfortunate.
But haven't they, with the Power franchise, kind of just sort of, like, is this the end of the whole franchise or just the end of this?
No.
Because I think what they do is that they'll just kind of repivot with a different
Yeah.
degree of spin-off.
That's what they have been doing.
Yeah, which is probably a wise choice because it could potentially avoid that pitfall that we talk about where you just kind of run out of a story arc.
Yeah.
But if you're kind of constantly pivoting, and creating new stuff, I mean, I think it's probably a good idea.
Yeah, probably is, and they're doing that. I don't see an outcome. At least they haven't laid it out now to where they could pivot out of this one. Okay, but maybe they will show us that later on. We'll see. Number 2 is The Chi. Okay, this is my favorite show out of the bunch. Okay, this is a show I think you would enjoy. It has some of everything. It has some comedy. It has some crime. It has some. It has a little bit of everything in it. Okay, this new season was just damn near perfection. This is the show that I told you our guy is in. Shumpert. Okay. I don't want to tell the storyline, but I will. He unfortunately passes away. That hurt me. Okay. He's a strong actor, man. He became a good actor. I'm not gonna say strong. He became a good actor.
That kid's gonna lose that $8K a month.
They killed him off.
Yeah.
Yeah. That has to be tough.
He's gonna be petitioning the court to reduce his child support. I lost my job.
They killed me off, man.
I'm not on Chi anymore.
So yeah, man. So definitely a really strong show. We just had the season closer. Okay.
What platform could I watch this on?
The Chi is on Showtime. I'm like 90% sure.
One that I don't have.
You don't have Showtime?
Are
I'm
older
pretty sure it's on
are
Showtime.
older seasons on another platform?
Quite possibly so.
I want to make a promise that I'll watch an episode prior to next show.
Do that.
Do the pilot.
Yeah.
I gotta find it though, 'cause I don't have Showtime. That's my point.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's on Showtime. I could
right.
be a little wrong on that.
All right.
Number 1 coming in is Supacell. Okay. Supacell is similar to The Boys, but it is a black superpower show. Okay, sci-fi. So that's why they're number 1. No, I'm just joking. No, but it's first of all, this was their first season. It's brand new and it's on Netflix. Okay, so it's a bigger platform. And even though The Boys is on Amazon, but anyway.
What's our basic premise here? What's the story of origin of the superpower?
So basically, especially in this first season, they're showing how some people they're randomly encountering that they have superpowers, like some people throughout this city. Okay, so First of all, it's about, okay, how did I get them? Each individual person, they're going through their storylines about how they're finding out that they have them, okay? And then somehow they all have to band together to go against this corporation, a la, like I said, the boys. But it's different in the sense of, you know, kind of, you know, I don't want to tell the story. That's the problem.
Is this set in like contemporary times or some futuristic
Both are.
world?
Yeah.
Contemporary times?
Yes, contemporary
Okay.
times. These times.
And these people are stumbling upon superpowers in their adult years?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, you know, later in the season, they show you that there are some kids who have them too. Okay. So, yeah. And then this corporation is like they're taking the people, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
All right.
Ebb says it starts slow, but picks up after the third episode.
Yeah, I'll say after the second.
So this is season 1.
Yeah,
How many episodes do we got?
6 or 7.
Oh, not too bad.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. For all these shows, you're gonna have to give them like a couple episodes. These days, I haven't
It's
seen a
tough.
show
It's
that.
tough,
These days,
though.
I haven't seen a show that one episode gets you. You always have to give it like 3 at least.
Yeah, it can be
For
tough,
me,
though.
for me,
Yeah,
know.
For the most part, yeah.
I don't have as much free time as you.
I don't got too much now. I haven't watched a show in ages.
All right.
I couldn't even tell you the last show I watched.
All right.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes on your calendar.
All right. Let's go to story time.
Oh, yes. You didn't get a story last time you were here, did you?
I think
No.
So. Oh, no.
Not a true Bubba story.
No, you didn't get a story last time. So this is part 5 and the closer of the Atlanta series here. Okay. So the last story was more so about the girlfriend. I finally got a girlfriend in Atlanta. Okay. And my first sexual encounter with her. You know, her drawers had a lot of doo-doo in it, man. It was skid marks.
What the heck?
Yeah, and
It was tough. You gotta listen.
it was very tough, and I did not let that deter me from the night. We still had a successful night.
And for
Okay.
that, I will always respect you.
I appreciate that,
Yep,
man.
yep.
You gotta stay focused on the game plan. All right,
So,
now
Bryson, if a girl takes her clothes off in front of you on her way to the restroom, do you inspect the clothes that she put on the
No.
floor?
Hell no.
I normally do not either.
But on this one
You had a
occasion,
hunch. You had a hunch.
No, it wasn't a hunch.
you must have.
You sniffed
No,
something
no,
out, you sniffed something.
It wasn't a hunch. It was just out of pure.
You just think the Lord wanted you to find out? Like, I mean,
It was out of excitement. Had been a long time. Had been dating.
That's crazy.
Let's move past that.
what's exciting? What's exciting about a girl's clothes on the
We're not
floor?
moving past nothing.
And I didn't pick them up and smell them.
You did pick them off the floor.
Yeah, but I didn't do all of the extra stuff.
After you,
Real
After-
after, smelled that.
after
we all
you-
would've- if we all would have got that far, we all would have smelled it. If we
Not
would have got
me.
that far.
Not me, okay?
if I look on the ground and there's shit there, I'm not picking it up. I'm not moving it any closer to me.
All right. We're on part 5 now.
Need a pass for
Leave
that.
part 4 in the past.
And now I am in a relationship with that said girl. And like I told you, we're living together, bought a house together, okay?
You're quite miserable.
I'm quite miserable. COVID is here. And so we're stuck together in the house all day, every day, okay? Now, here goes the thing. After we're together for a little while, I start getting crazy pressure from her dad, okay? Start getting crazy pressure from her dad about marriage and about a ring,
Really?
okay?
This is during COVID.
Yeah. So I already,
How did he apply this pressure? Calling you or face to face?
yeah, face to face.
Really?
Face to face, calling. It's not just one time, it's several times. And then I'm getting pressure from her, I'm getting pressure from him, I'm getting pressure.
In terms of like the face to face, like was he trying to like establish like a direct relationship with you? Or was it like he would happen to be over at your house with her and he'd kind of pull you to the side?
It would be sort of like trying to create a relationship with me. So
hey,
like
Bubba, why
yes.
don't we go?
Yeah, let's go down here to this bar.
Let's go fishing.
This thing would be like, yeah, let's go down to the bar. So we would go down to the bar. But his way of communicating was just really bad. So this guy, and there's an end to that story with him. So I don't want to, I can only tell it the way I could tell it, okay? But he was not everyone's favorite person, okay? And so like for example, when we sat down, we at this bar, and he's like, "Yeah, man, she's such a pretty girl, and she has this and she has that. You're not gonna find anybody like this again." He said, "Look at you, man."
He said,
But he's not
said,
joking.
"Look at you."
He said, "Look at you."
That's crazy.
He said, "Look at you." He said, "Look at you, man." And she is a pretty girl. She is a very pretty girl. Now that would have been the perfect time for me to tell her, yeah, but she has shitty drawers.
Exactly.
Did you know about that? But I didn't. Okay, I did not do that.
A man of great class
He
and discretion.
said, "Yeah, look at you, man." And he say, she's above. You're shooting above or something. He said some type of term. You know what I'm trying to say there.
You're out kicking the coverage.
And
Damn.
he was like, and she comes from a really good family, and you don't. And you
No, he said that.
he said that,
What
man.
the
This is our
Wait,
literal.
what did this
These are the
motherfucker
exact
do
words.
for a living?
So that means we'll get there. Basically, hardly anything. He delivers like he's a truck driver, a local truck driver.
You ain't even an over-the-road truck driver.
He's a local truck driver.
You're a
And
fucking JV truck driver, motherfucker.
yeah, and again, I don't want to go because there's something at the end there, so I don't want to go too hard on him. But he's a local truck driver, and I talk to her. Me and her have conversations. Yeah, of course, we're in a relationship. We talk. I talk about my upbringing and stuff like that, and she talks about hers, and that's so apparently. She had been going behind my back to tell him and her family stuff that I'm telling her at nighttime. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah. So I'm telling her, about my upbringing and the community and all of that stuff and how I'm coming up. And we at this bar, and he's just telling me basically everything I told her. Yeah, and your mom and dad, they did this, and you came up like this. She didn't come up like that. She came up with money, so you need to.
I can't imagine. What is your thought process listening?
Are you just
to
not?
I'm steaming. I'm fuming. No,
Oh, okay,
I'm fuming because
Okay.
you're talking about my people, and at the time
Yeah, that's
I had just learned and found out that my mom was sick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't even feel good about being in Atlanta, not being home at this time anyway.
Right.
Okay, but his whole point to this story is you need to lock this down and marry her like now, or she's going to leave you, and then you're not going to get anybody better than her. That's his whole thing. So between his pressure and her pressure, somehow, some ludicrous reason, I go and I buy a ring.
Oh God.
I know. So you got Bubba's buying a house and he's buying a ring and for somebody, whatever. And
How much you drop on the ring?
it was a good amount, man.
Damn.
It was a good amount. And I'm not even in my at the time I had moved on from the that first recruiting job and I got a slightly better one. But I'm not making, a ton of money. At this time probably making like whatever, 40K. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so we have that situation, right? About a month later, I'm at my cousin's house, and this is gonna sound kind of funny, a little weird, because I'm having such a great time. We're playing a game. We all playing it's like 6 or 7 of us at my cousin's house, and we playing like a game upstairs. And I get a call, and it's her. So her dad had committed suicide,
Really?
killed himself,
That's what suicide is.
in his brand new car that his wife bought him.
Wow.
Okay, because his wife makes a lot of money.
Okay.
Okay, he doesn't. So yeah,
So that was the money he was talking about,
That's the
not
money,
the
yeah.
money he was earning.
right. The money his wife is earning.
Dude, people
And-
are
We're
crazy.
getting good, man.
People are crazy. That's
He,
what
sh-
I was,
he shot himself right in the front seat of that car, and so it must have been a lot of things that he was dealing with and going on.
yeah.
Now, at the same time, like I just told you, I had learned that my mom had got sick, but so I was planning on going home for a little while. Now I got to postpone that. I have to be there. You know what I mean? I have to be there, but I can't leave.
Situation.
It's a tough situation. So I have to stick around now for a while, and that's not fun because it's not fun because we're already having issues, and then this now she gets the extra license to be extra shitty now because
Yeah.
of that situation.
Yeah. That's,
So I'm just like, I need to-
Could she be any shittier?
I'm just like, how can I get out of this? I feel like I'm the master of getting out of relationships and getting out of like talking stages. There's not many people that can do it better than me. You can do it just as good, but you can't do
Master
it better.
faces his greatest challenge.
This is one for the books, though. Yeah. This one for the books.
Building.
For the books.
Yes.
This is an impossible situation. Okay, because everything. You got the house thing.
Yeah.
You got the ring thing.
Now, do you just have the ring in waiting, or had you
Ring
presented
and waiting.
it?
Ring
Okay.
and waiting.
Got it ready to go.
Now, there is, because she didn't know I had bought it, right?
Right.
And then we got into this like huge argument one night or whatever, and she's like, you don't even take me serious, and this and that, and you know that I'm looking for marriage. And I'm like, you don't even know I bought you a ring. You're lying. So now I got to show the ring. You know what I mean?
Oh, you had to show the ring.
Yeah.
But you didn't present it.
No, I didn't present it. I was like,
Here it
now what?
is.
Here it is.
But I ain't giving it to you.
I was like, here it is. Now you owe me some head. Now shut- Don't let me win an argument, because that's don't let me prove you wrong. But eventually, so there is no getting out of this. I had to wait it out, and I had to find a decent time. I had to find a good time. Now, as time go on, things are getting a little bit worse and worse by the day here. So I have to come back and visit here. Okay? Not the greatest thing what happened, okay? But what happens is I leave, I go visit, I come here with my mom. Everything's good, okay? As far as me getting to see her and everything.
Yeah.
My ex has a birthday party, okay? She has a birthday party, and I could talk about this here because she knows about it now. So she has this birthday party, and at this like Airbnb thing. So she invites friends over and stuff like that. And me and my friends come over. Now, she leaves her own birthday party, Airbnb party, to go out to the club, okay? Leaves people here. She goes with her and one other friend, and everybody else stays here.
Including you at that.
Including me. I stay, all my friends stay. My friend is smashing one of her friends in the room. And then a friend of a friend I find there, and I'm attracted to her. We start talking. And things progress from there. All right? To tell you the truth, she called into the show one time here before.
I like it. Okay.
Yeah. One of my very beautiful Haitian
Was this your
lady
first
friends.
foray with the Haitians?
This started no, she was not. Yeah, okay, but what happened? So originally, first I get in trouble with my ex because that's I guess against the rules or whatever,
Girl code.
But then secondly, I'm technically in this relationship in Atlanta that I'm trying to get out of. And so, I meet this like seemingly perfect girl here, but really what it is I'm so
Yeah.
that anything would have done here.
It's the man in the desert getting a little water.
But it was good. It was that situation was really good. And did I say her name?
No. not
Okay,
yet.
that's good
We're
because no, I'm not gonna say that name. Because she could do certain things that I just was not getting up there for the past whatever X amount of
Okay.
years. You know what I mean?
all with clean draws.
All with clean draw. Okay. The only thing with her is she stayed in like the heart of the hood, so I hate going over there like late at night. Okay, but anyway. So anyway, I go back. Now I'm back in Atlanta. Okay, not feeling great about myself because she's having dealing with that situation, and I'm back home. I'm letting loose. Okay, or whatever. But the one thing I did do, and is I did break up right before I left. I
With
did,
her?
Yeah. I did one of those
So
things where,
technically you
like
were,
space. Like technically I was
so you
single.
were single.
Yeah,
Okay.
technically,
All
what I
right.
mean, I did one of those things there. How about we just whatever for the next couple of days? Or
How about we just?
He's a professional.
I need some space.
We know that move.
I need some space. Now I'm back. We're back together. Okay.
Yeah, we know
Just-
that play.
She just welcomed you back.
The fake
Yeah.
punt.
Yeah.
Fake punt.
Now, but what I did notice and what I did see, I am trying to get back to that girl, but also I do need to I need to get back for my mom, right? So I tell her that, and what happens is at first she puts on this strong front, like, oh yeah, you gotta have you leave, but the day I was set to leave, right, which is about a few weeks from that, from when I got back,
Yeah.
like she was like hysterically crying,
Oh, jeez.
hysterically. So I can't leave. You know what I mean? So I can't leave now. So I extended out another month.
You're in there with a with a worthy adversary. You guys are both working the playbook on each other. Let me go to dust off hysterical crying.
Unstoppable force meets a movable object.
It's,
So I ended up going a month, but then I leave, and then that concludes my time in Atlanta.
there you go. You escaped.
I escaped.
Escape from Alcatraz.
I did escape.
Escape from the ATL.
Yeah.
I'm glad you made it out, Bubba. Unscathed.
Yeah, man.
Did your ring come with you?
My ring came with me.
Do you still have it in your possession?
Every girl I date from that point, I say, hey, if you're looking for marriage, I have a ring for you. And,
But you gotta earn it.
No, they hate it because it's like, oh, you bought a ring for another girl. You better not give me a
Yeah,
ring.
yeah, that's true.
You
that's
bought
true.
that for another girl. I don't see the problem. I really don't see the problem because it wasn't hers. It's not like I was engaged or even married.
It's still problematic. You should just sell that ring and be done with it.
No, right?
No.
First of
Just
all,
don't tell that story though. Just say.
yeah.
I
I
just
know
bought this
now.
ring.
I know that, right?
Yeah.
Now I know
You
that.
didn't know that.
Now I know that.
I would.
No, I literally did not know that because I don't see that being a problem.
Oh my God, Bubba!
Nah,
I still don't see that being a problem.
I can't believe that.
Not for us.
No,
but
no,
for
no,
them, I
no,
see
no,
why.
no. That's
I
of
see
course. That's who you're.
But I didn't like it. Never touched her finger.
It doesn't matter. Like the only pass you get is that like if it's like a family ring, like
Yeah,
if
yeah.
your mom's passed, if it was her
No,
wedding
yeah.
ring,
I see that in
and
movies.
that's yeah.
Yeah.
But if you just have a generically purchased ring, like
But I think, but women think like, oh, okay, even that, okay. So they think like you went in the store and she told you what type of ring, and then that's her ring.
some
that
other
she has
girl's
in mind.
ring,
But
or
that's not the
even
case.
even if you did it on your own,
Yeah.
they're thinking that like you bought that ring thinking of that other girl,
No,
and
I
now you're what were you thinking? You just had a blackout?
didn't. No, I just buying a ring to eventually. I didn't know
You
all
make
of
it
these
sound like you're buying a
parameters.
value meal. I mean, like
I didn't know all these other parameters because really I just don't give a shit about
that's true.
getting married and a ring and a wedding.
That's
and all
what I'm
of that.
saying. Cash
That's just-
out on that ring and just.
But it already it's lost its value. Like a ring is like a car and like that. Yeah. I can get some money back, but I'm not going
Yeah.
to get the money that I
oh,
paid
I know that,
for it.
but right now you're getting zero out of that.
Yeah.
I mean, take that. Maybe bet it on the Chiefs in Week 1. I don't know. Let's see what's up.
Why not?
Yeah. I mean, come on.
I am off the horse though. That's putting me back on the betting horse.
Yeah.
But
I'm on
whatever.
my bad. I apologize.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It's like offering an alcoholic a drink. Pink is such a bad guy, man.
I mean, week 1 Chiefs look good. Though. Especially free money. Man.
It's free money.
One drink don't get you drunk.
Double that up, man.
Look at Ebony says, Bubba, sell that ring.
Yeah, even she says it. The great champion of women. Apparently, she wants the pleasure Dom to come back.
Oh yeah.
You want to make a house call, or we can have you guys connected.
No, for sure.
That's
But yeah, that concludes that story there, man.
That's good, man. That's good.
Yeah.
Did you get any equity out of the house?
No.
Oh,
Then I had to essentially pay alimony. I was fucking
oh wow.
for like a year. I was paying
Toward the house?
towards everything.
Oh God,
Gym membership, all
What?
that shit.
that's out of line.
Fucking. I felt bad because I left. I left off of him, so it was like almost was like whatever she asked for. I just
Yeah,
Whatever.
that's tough. That's tough. So, like, what was the backstory on the suicide?
I don't like people hating me. He didn't leave any notes. He didn't leave anything.
Foul play, maybe.
No.
Oh,
What?
well,
Like
I
somebody
mean, now that you
else.
just said that,
If there's no note, like,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
you think the wife did something?
Nah.
I'm not trying to
Could
start
be.
nothing.
No,
I'm
no, I
just
know, but everything.
I'm gonna buy you a car and I'm gonna shoot your ass in it. That's some savagery right there.
No note is kind of crazy though.
Yeah, like nothing.
You really have
And
to go,
nobody,
wow.
and nobody like could like backtrack and figure like, oh, this is what was going on. Like that, even the daughter, like that you were going out with.
No.
That makes no sense.
No, he. I mean, afterwards, people will say, you could just tell he was a guy that just wasn't fully happy with his life for whatever reason.
Yeah.
He was a trophy husband.
Yeah.
That's
Was
shit
he a
crazy.
trophy? Oh yeah, I guess he
He
was.
said
a
the
trophy husband.
mom was making bread.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. He didn't like that life as a trophy husband.
Thought he had it all.
Kind of undercut his
Had a
manhood
brand new
to
car.
a degree.
He had a.
Yeah, he got put in a car.
He had a man cave. He had all this stuff set up, and
He just felt unfulfilled, man.
maybe so.
Was the mom smashing some other dudes?
I highly
That
doubt it.
could be. Oh well.
Dude, you're ruling out all the good stuff.
No. He was the one that told you that the one time I told you I was at the bar and he was talking to the other basically he was
Yeah.
essentially cheating on his and he thought I had told his wife because his wife ended up coming down there like a couple of hours later. His wife came down and caught him talking to the other lady or whatever. And he was like, "Oh, what type of nigga is you telling somebody why? Who does? We don't do that here in Atlanta. You weak ass, soft ass motherfucker." And I was like, man, I don't give a fuck what you do, man. That wasn't me. It turned out the whole time, because they have iPhones, and he had
His
the location
location.
turned on.
Well, maybe that was his undoing. Though. How much later was the suicide?
From that situation, a couple months.
That could have started a downfall.
Mm.
Because maybe like after that, like she just kind of was riding him and giving him the business.
Took
and
away his
everything.
PS4.
Yeah.
Took the keys away. He said, "Oh hell."
Yeah. Might have had him on the short leash, and he'd rather be in heaven.
He saw how much power he really had.
This is why people on YouTube give us such a fucking hard time. Man.
What do you mean?
Because we take situations like this. This is not funny. Somebody lost their life.
We're just
Like
trying
the gay guy in Texas. They were like,
yeah.
2 kids are grieving without their parents, and you guys are just up there laughing. It's like,
It's better than crying, sir.
I can find the funny in a lot of stuff.
Oh, I legitimately wonder why he killed himself. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like
No, yeah, for
there's
sure.
reasons. I mean, the getting caught might be a thing, and yeah, I don't know,
We're
man.
getting closer to the truth though.
Yeah, we are. I think we've done a lot here.
Wrote some things out, fed some things in,
Yeah.
let it marinate a little bit.
Bubba just didn't care. He was just like, as long as I can get back to Orlando, let me get back to Edenville. Leave these problems behind.
Yeah, he moved on.
I'll just pay for a peer membership.
That's tough.
That's crazy, man.
That's tough.
I don't know, man.
I do wonder sometimes, like,
Like what?
like if she's had a baby, if she's.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Do you ever wonder about that with like exes or people you talked to in the past?
Nah.
Sometimes
Nah.
I do, man. That you don't think about that at all.
No, it doesn't do you any good.
I mean, does you any good?
I mean, in that situation, I'd be wondering.
Why?
Now his situation, because that was kind of crazy. I mean, her dad killed himself. They almost got married. They had a house, a car. So like, I would be wondering.
think
That
that,
was a serious relationship.
But you no, I guess I would be more intrigued if she's like maybe really struggling because of all that.
Mm.
Well, you gotta wonder to know. Maybe she's doing great. Maybe she's doing
Like,
terrible.
yeah, I don't know. It's interesting to see.
I mean, that could have been his reality. Like right now, it was pretty close.
yeah,
So I would wonder.
Well, man, you just got to be thankful you dodged a bullet.
Yeah, sounds like you did.
Can't worry about the bullets that don't hit you. Just the ones that do. I mean, come on. I don't know. You have no contact with her at all, or you don't. There's no social media or anything, or
No. In order to avoid the stalking thing,
Yeah.
I blocked everyone, all
Okay.
her whole family from on social media.
and there's no like common friends at all.
No,
No.
From the other side, looking at What he did from the other side is crazy.
What he did?
He's the biggest villain of all time.
Yeah, I wasn't
He's
the
a
biggest.
villain. When you look at the
they
story
wasn't a
from
fan
the
of me.
other side,
What do you mean?
he went to Orlando, fucked another girl, came back, broke up with her while she's getting with her dad, showed her the ring.
This
damn.
is just another week for Bubba.
That man a whole red flag.
I don't think this is anything different than we've come to expect. from
He's
our
a
hero.
he's a super villain, man.
Yeah, this is it, man.
That's crazy.
You know, I don't know. Okay, this is what it is.
He might have sent her down like a crazy, and then blocked them on everything. It's crazy. That's the cherry on top.
I could
just
see
like,
her
fuck.
really. I mean,
She went off the rails.
maybe
for
she
sure.
followed suit with that.
Oh, come on, man.
Not in the passenger seat. You wrong for that.
It's possible. Well, why not?
You wrong for that.
That's
Somebody
terrible,
in
man.
The comments offer a reason why not.
That's terrible, man.
We're benching Pig.
She's
next
a strong woman.
Suicide runs in the family.
No.
week. Nah.
Genetic trait.
Pig's getting
we're
benched
gonna
next
we're
week.
gonna go off of that note here, man. I found it interesting. They said the Kings were close on marketing. A lot of teams are trying to pry him away from Utah.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of his?
No.
He just need to get to a bigger, huh?
I mean, he's a good player, but he's not. I wouldn't go crazy to get him.
Yeah. Let's see.
I don't think he. I
And
mean,
the Spurs and the Warriors. Spurs, Warriors, Kings are the three teams that are trying to pry him away.
Okay.
Him with Wemby is interesting. I don't think I like that.
I'm not a
it
huge
probably
marketing
could
guy.
work.
I recognize he can play, but like he's been on, in my thinking, he's been on mediocre teams his whole career. He's also a guy like, well, what is he? Like, is he the third guy in a big three? I don't think he's any higher than the third guy in a big three. And he's probably better than just being a 3-and-D, operator on a good team.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's
Sounds like a good Spurs move.
everything. There's a price for everything. I mean, if you're getting him for a bag of peanuts, like that's great.
Yeah.
If but to have to concede something big or pay him big money, I'm not super excited to do that.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see where that goes. We'll catch you guys next week.
All right, we're out.
Time flew today, man.